Okay, so let's talk about something that connects literally all of us, music. It's this amazing, universal part of being human. And you don't need to be a trained musician to get it, right? You feel a song, you tap your foot, you hum along. It's just in us.
But here's the thing that's always been a huge puzzle. For something so common, why do we even have it? I mean, think about it. We get why we have hands or eyes or language. But music? That's been a real head-scratcher for scientists for a very long time.
Let's just put it next to language for a second. The purpose of language is crystal clear, right? It lets us share super complex ideas, organize ourselves, build entire civilizations. It's practical. But music? For ages, its function has just been a big question mark. So, where on earth did it come from?
Well, for a long time, the standard scientific view basically treated music as this weird evolutionary puzzle. Or, maybe just a happy accident.
This quote really captures that whole old-school perspective. Famous thinkers like Steven Pinker called music auditory cheesecake. The idea was that it's this really delightful byproduct of other, more useful things, like language, but at the end of the day, it's just for fun. It didn't actually help us survive.
And this idea has really deep roots. We're talking all the way back to ancient Greece. Pythagoras figured out that music is built on these perfect mathematical ratios. And that discovery kind of reinforced this view of music as this pure, abstract thing, totally separate from the messy, biological, real world.
But then, pretty recently, that entire view got completely turned on its head. Neuroscience uncovered this huge clue that gave us a whole new way of thinking about where music actually comes from.
This is the big question that just changed everything. What if we've been looking in the completely wrong place? What if music isn't some abstract, mathematical concept at all? What if it's deeply, fundamentally tied to the most human sound there is, our own voice?
So, to test this, researchers like David Schwartz tried something new. They took thousands and thousands of speech samples and just analyzed the raw sound patterns. And what they found was kind of stunning. The pitch changes, the ups and downs in our normal speech, they're incredibly similar to the musical scales you find all over the world. The conclusion was hard to ignore. Music isn't abstract. It's basically a mimic of the human voice.
And this brings us to what they call the mimicry hypothesis. And the idea is actually pretty simple, but it's also profound. We are drawn to music, we enjoy it, because on a really deep acoustic level, it sounds like us. It resonates with us because it's built from the same melodic patterns we use to talk to each other every single day. Of course, this immediately brings up that classic chicken or the egg question, right? Did our musical sense evolve from our speech, or did our speech evolve from some earlier, more musical way of communicating? Now, we can't know for sure, but what it proves is that they aren't two separate things. They grew from the exact same biological root.
And this whole new way of thinking has some really fascinating implications that go way beyond just us humans. It actually helps us understand other animals and even the very, very beginning of our own lives.
So you've probably heard this before, right? That animals don't really get human music. And for a long time, studies seem to back that up. But this new hypothesis asks a pretty brilliant question. What if we were just playing them the wrong songs?
I mean, it makes perfect sense. If our music is based on our speech patterns, then an animal's music would probably be based on its vocal patterns. So your cat might not care about Beethoven, but a song built on the frequencies and tempos of meows and purrs, well, that might actually sound familiar and appealing to them.
But honestly, maybe the most powerful and clearest evidence for this whole idea is found right at the start of life, in that incredible bond between a mother and her baby.
Anyone who's been around a baby knows this instinctively. When you talk to an infant, your voice just changes. It gets higher, more melodic, almost like you're singing. Scientists call it motherese, and it's not just some cute thing we do. It's a kind of music that serves a vital biological purpose. It helps regulate the baby's emotions and builds that crucial bond. And this isn't a cultural thing. It's a universal human behavior seen all across the world.
So, all of this leads us to a brand new understanding of music. One that takes it from being just a fun pastime to something absolutely fundamental to who we are. The big takeaway here is really clear. Music is not auditory cheesecake. It's not some frivolous, extra thing that evolution just happened to spit out by accident. It's so much more important than that.
No, music is a core part of our biological toolkit. It's a fundamental tool for regulating our emotions, for creating social bonds, and for our development right from the moment we're born. It's not an accessory, it's a necessity.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought. If something as vast and complex and beautiful as all the music in the world is really built from the simple melodies of our own voices, well, it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other profound secrets are hiding in plain sight in the sounds that we all make every single day?